Wish you a good day. Welcome all. Myself Suresh Babu Vararajan. This is our third video on Signals and System English. Today we are going to discuss about few basic signals and its representation, mathematical and graphical representation. Let's get into our topic. Before getting into our topic, first we should know how to represent a continuous time signal and a discrete time signal mathematically and graphically. Now let me explain the representation of continuous time signal graphically and mathematically. Let us consider an example, x of t. It can be represented like this: x of t equal to t for all values of t. It means x of t varies with respect to t in this function relationship. This t can be anything like plus 1 plus t comma t square or 2t. It can be anything. Just for example, I represented it as t. It can be any function of t. If it doesn't contain any t term, it has only a constant value this side, like a, b, like that, or 5, 2, like this. It means our function is not varying with respect to time. It have a uniform distribution like this. It means it doesn't vary with respect to time. It will have a constant value throughout time. And another way to represent any signal, there are different types of signals. I will show another signal. For example, x of t equal to t for t less than 0 and 1 for t equal to 0 and t plus 2 for t greater than 0 and t less than 5 and 5 otherwise. So this 4 time intervals can be in any number. For example, I took 4 in number. Likewise, we can distinguish times function with respect to its time interval. This is another type of representation. Now, if we like to represent our continuous time signal as a graph, it can be like this. In x-axis, we should mark it as t. Here it is 0. Here it is x of t. For example, I am going to plot x of t equal to t for all value of t, or for t greater than or equal to 0. So here in 0, value of x of t equal to 0, and when t equal to 1, let us mark like this: when t is equal to 1, x of t will also be 1. When t equal to 2, x of t will also be 2. Likewise, it will be a straight line like this up to infinity. For t less than 0, it is defined as 0 otherwise here, so it will be 0. So no need to draw here. This is how a continuous time should be represented graphically. Now let us see a discrete time signals representation. A discrete time signal can be represented as x of n, as I mentioned in previous video. This x of n can be any function of n, like in continuous time signal, n or n plus 1 or n square, anything it may be. Or otherwise, x of n may be some set of values, 1, minus 1, 0, 5, like this. If I am representing values like this, I didn't mention its n index. It means n equal to 0 lies here in first element. If I mentioned x of n like this, 1, -1, 3, 2, 5, I put an arrow mark here under 3. It means n equal to 0 lies here. So this element lies in n equal to -1, this element lies in n equal to -2, this element lies in n equal to 1, this element lies in n equal to 2. This is how we represent a discrete time signal, and it can be a function too, like continuous time signal. Discrete time signal can also be a function, like x of n equal to 2n for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. This we can draw like this. Here we can mark it as n on x axis, in y axis x of n. If n equal to 0, x of n will also be 0. If n equal to 2, x of n will be 2 into 2, so 4. If n equal to 1, x of n will be 2 into 1, 2. While plotting discrete time signal as a graph, it should not be continuous like this as in continuous time system, because we have only samples like this. It will be like a stem plot like this. We will have amplitude only on this time instant, not in between 2 and 3, not in between 1 and 2, not in between 0 and 1. It represents only the value of this time instant only, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, like that. So this is how we represent discrete time signal. I hope you would understand this. Now let us see a few basic signals which we will use often throughout this course. First signal is unit impulse signal. We will represent this signal as del. Let me tell you first del of t, continuous time signal, as a continuous time signal. Del of t is equal to 1 for t equal to 0, 0 otherwise. This unit impulse signal is just modeled as instantaneous way. Only it have a value on t equal to 0. It don't have any value for other values of t. So we call this as an impulse signal. Impulse, we know, infinite amount of energy in a very small area. So why we call this as a impulse signal? Its magnitude will be 1. So we call it as unit impulse signal. Only in this instant we have its value as 1. I represented a discrete time signal. Even for continuous time signal we will get the same graph. Why? Because it will have value only in one instant. So it doesn't mean whether it is a continuous time signal or discrete time signal. Both signal will look alike. So this is how we represent a unit impulse signal. Then next signal model is unit step signal. The representation of notation of unit step signal is u of n or u of t. The mathematical definition of u of t or u of n is u of t equal to 1 for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. It means, let me plot a graph for this. In x-axis I will mark it as t. This is 0 and this is u of t. This is 1, This is 1, 2, 3. Here it is -1, -2. Okay. Now I'm trying to plot the graph of u of t. Here we have a condition for t greater than or equal to 0. We have u of t's value as 1 for all values of t greater than or equal to 0. So we can start from 0. So starting from here, for all values of positive values of t up to infinity, we will have its value as 1, a constant uniform distribution throughout time in for positive value of t. In negative value of t, we will get only 0. It will be like this. This is called unit step signal. I mentioned continuous time signal here. Let me show you discrete time signals definition and graph too. U of n is equal to 1 for n greater than or equal to 0. 0 otherwise. This is a mathematical definition, and let me plot a graph for this. Here I will note it as n. Here it is 0. Here u of n. As I mentioned in continuous time signal, for all positive values of n, it will have value of u of n will be 1. But it won't be continuous here in discrete time signal. It will be like a stem plot, discretized like this. But all of its value is 1, 1, 1, 1. I hope you understood this. Let me go to the next signal, unit ramp signal. By its name we can define it will increase like a ramp with respect to time. That means its notation is or. We can tell it as or of t or or of n. This is for continuous time ramp. This is discrete time ramp. We call this as a unit ramp because it increases by 1 unit. I will show an example. I will define it mathematically. Now r of t is equal to t for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. That means 0, this is t, this is r of t. Here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, 4. For the negative values of t, we will get 0 as mentioned in definition. For positive value of t, it will be equal to t for r of t. Like if t is equal to 0, r of t will also be 0. If t is equal to 1, r of t will be 1. If t is equal to 2, r of t will be 2. If t is equal to 3, r of t will be 3. Like this, it will be a straight line up to infinity. It increases like ramp with its step size as 1. So it is called unit ramp signal. Now let us see this same ramp signal as a discrete time signal. It makes it even more clear. R of n is equal to n for n greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. Let me plot graph for this. On x-axis it is n, here it is 0, here it is r of n. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. Here these are negative values. Now again same as we discussed in continuous unit ramp signal, the same way for n equal to 0, r of n is equal to 0, n equal to 1, r of n will also be 1, n equal to 2, r of n will also be 2, n equal to 3, r of n will also be 3 up to infinity. They are in continuous time signal. This signal will be continuous, but here it will be like a stem plot. In between the values 0 and 1 we don't have any value, it will be 0. That is the only difference. In between intervals we will have 0. There won't be any value. This is the difference between continuous and discrete time, otherwise values will be same on that particular instance. I hope you understood unit ramp signal. Let us discuss the sinusoidal or exponential signals first. A very important signal. We will go through this signal throughout the course of signals and system. Also, in many other subjects, EC engineers and CSE engineers will study this signal, use this signal in digital signal processing, in communication engineering paper, communication theory paper, digital communication. In all these papers we will use this signal. Why here exponential and sinusoidal signals are mentioned together? Why they have not mentioned separately means they both are very closely related. Like for exponential signal, basically how we will represent is like this. Let x of t be an exponential signal is equal to e power at or c e power at. C is some constant, it doesn't matter. Here we have two values c and a. If these two values are real, then the signal will be exponential, purely exponential. If the c, any one of this value c or a is imaginary, then this signal will be sinusoidal. Why? Because we already know e power at can be expressed as cos at plus j sin at if this a is imaginary. E power I theta, we know the formula of e power I theta, it is cos theta plus I sin theta. Same way, if we have an imaginary value for a, this signal will be sinusoidal. Let us discuss this. X of t is equal to c e power at. We know this signal, it is very familiar signal for all of us, I hope. If the value of a is greater than 0, then our signal will be an increasing exponential, and this intercepting point will be c. If only if the c and a are purely real, it's not an imaginary. It doesn't have, if it doesn't have imaginary value, then the function will be like this. Okay, only if c and a are real and a greater than 0. If a greater than 0, we will get function graph like this. In second case, again, if c and a are real and a's value is less than 0, then our graph will be like this. Value will be less than 0 and x of t equal to c e power a t. Here t is 0. It will be a decreasing exponential or decaying exponential. It will be like this. And this intercepting point is c. Okay. Now let us see the case if a and c are imaginary. It means let us assume the polar form of c as mod c e power theta j and rectangular form of a is equal to r plus j omega naught. Then x of t will become, instead of c I am going to substitute this value, so it will become mod c e power theta j, and instead of a I am going to substitute this value, so e power r plus j omega naught t. By rewriting this equation, I get mod c e power r t. I am taking this r t e power r t out, and I'm going to include this theta j into this, so it will be like this: omega t plus theta j. So this is the sinusoidal term, and this is the exponential part. So by having this relationship, we can plot a graph of this function as this condition occurs only if c and a are not really not a real value. If these two are complex value, then we will have this relationship. Let us see that as a graph now. In that equation, if r greater than 0, then our graph will be like this. This is just a reference mark for me to draw a graph correctly. This is the actual graph. Here this is x of t, this is t, this is 0. When r greater than 0 in that equation, our graph will be like this. It will be sinusoidal, at the same time it will be exponential. The sinusoidal wave will increase its amplitude exponentially. This is how the graph will be when r greater than 0. This will be the c, modulus c. And if r less than 0, if r have a value less than 0, then our graph will be like, if r has value less than 0, then our signal can be represented as x of t c e power a t This is just a reference mark for me to draw a graph correctly, to fit my graph into this exponential form. It is not actually in graph, it is my reference, it is for my reference. Now our graph will be like this. This is our intercepting point C. This occurs only if r less than 0 in this equation. Now let us take a discrete time sinusoidal or exponential function. It can be represented as x of n. Let us consider a discrete time exponential signal as c e power beta n, and for our convenience I am going to assume e power beta as alpha, and now our signal will be x of n is equal to c alpha power n. If this alpha and c are purely real valued, then our signal will be exponential, purely exponential, x of n. And if alpha's values lies between 0 and 1, our signal will be like this, and this intercepting point will be C. This will be a decreasing exponential when alpha's values lies between 0 and 1, and it will be a increasing exponential when alpha's value lies greater than 1, like this. This intercepting point will be C. This is x of n. If alpha is greater than 1, our signal will be like this, as an increasing exponential. And now if the C, any one of the value is complex, C's or alpha's value is complex, then our signal will look like this. Up to infinity, from infinity, it will be like this. Sinusoidal, at the same time exponentially decreasing sinusoidal signal. To get this signal, alpha's value should lie in between -1 and 0. And if alpha's value is less than -1, our signal x of n will be like this, sinusoidal, and also at the same time it will be exponentially increasing sinusoidal signal. This intercepting point will be C. So why this exponential signal and sinusoidal signals are very closely related. I hope you understood this concept. If you have any doubts, please write to this mail id ece.youtubechannel@gmail.com. My phone number is 790-464-9875. Feel free to call for any doubts. If you like this channel, please like it, share it among your friends, subscribe it to get continuous notification. Thank you.